Hi, you guys. Leanne Holitza here, not at the healing studio today. I am taking a little bit of time to get recentered and things. I am actually sitting in my uh, youngest child's bedroom, which is mostly empty because he's moved to his first apartment. So let's see. Let's talk about. I've got some jet here with me today. This is actually petrified wood, but it works really good to kind of clear out any trauma drama, anything that's kind of feeling heavy. And I've got the crystal infused heart chakra spray from Basic Earth today. So yeah, so let's talk about this coming month. It's September, and we've got our typical things: sound baths, group healings. I have a live light council at the end of the month. To this coming weekend, if you're local, we have a metaphysical fair. We have astrologers and healers and pet communicators and crystals. So that would be something to check out. And then, I mean, there's actually just all kinds of fun stuff always going on. So check out our schedule here. I'll put a little thing up. Let's see. Just go to this, and at the top of the page, there's an events page. We also have student readings going on, which are free. If you want to get a reading from one of my students, they are amazing, and you might like to give a little insight. So you could sign up for that as well. Let's see. The energy's been, nuts with the big full moon last week and all kinds of things going on. Hopefully, whatever that fair thing was last week, justice and things worked out okay for everybody. So I'm going to do our I'm going to do our, weekly reading for all of us. And then I'm going to do our 1, 2, 3s. And then I'm going to do my me pleases that are all hanging out. So hi, everybody. When you go to YouTube and subscribe, it actually lets you comment a little bit earlier. But I do see some of you on YouTube just now coming in, and some of you on Facebook beat those YouTubers. So I guess it's just a game of who gets on there first. But I typically get through most of the list. You just have to be a little patient with me. Okay, so Jenny, you popped on at 9:23 on YouTube, so you win the top of the list. And right at the bottom of the list is Astrid and Meredith. So hi, you guys. I will be getting there. All right, let's see what this week brings, okay? Okay, so first card is impeccability. This card is basically saying that we're never really truly off track, but we could get off lesson, right? And then if we get off our lesson or our soul mission, I'll just a little thing, we are going to get course corrected by our helpers, the people around us that we have soul contracts with. So this card is basically saying we're a little off track and we might have to be put back on track. And that could be gentle if you listen to the whispers, or it could be a little rough if you have to be smacked around a bit. All right. This is the helper card. Action sideways. What this is saying is be open to the actual action that's coming forward. Don't just take action to take action this week. Be in awareness that you are, lots of little floaties around here. Be in awareness that you are going to be shown the signs. This card has a little Ganesh in it, okay? So Ganesh will remove the obstacles and will let you know when the action is there to take, okay? And the end of the week, we're a little stuck, okay? So this kind of what I'm hearing from the guides is that we might be in a lesson plan that's gone a little off topic. I mean, I'm kind of getting the metaphor of like, I'm trying to teach you 1 + 1 is 2, and now you're asking me how, somebody invented the alphabet, that kind of thing. And we might get off on topic. So this card is just saying we might be a little stuck in ourselves, especially our minds this week. So just be paying attention to that. Okay, here we go. Let's do 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, this is going to be your start of your first, the start of your first personal reading. If you're watching this later, you can join in by picking 1, 2, 3. But I want you just to kind of really feel into your heart about which card is yours today. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So just really feeling in. Okay, if you picked 1, you've got exhale sideways. So what that is saying is actively do things of surrender this week, okay? Take action of surrender. What could that mean? Taking deep breaths, doing a yoga class, sitting out in nature, intentionally surrendering, intentionally letting go, okay? If you picked 2, you got to be careful of your communication this week, okay? So communication is not stellar for those of you who picked 2. So remember that non-action card. Maybe don't talk too much about your actions. Just listen, patience, just deep breaths, okay? If you picked 3, practice upside down. It's going to feel a little bit like everything's getting unpacked this week if you picked 3. So this is like I don't know how to keep everything in check. And everything's unraveling as we speak. Try and recognize that it takes effort to kind of have what you say you want, especially if it's something different than what you already have. So being aware that you're going to be putting yourself in a place where you might need to make room for what you say you want. So those of you pick 3, be ready to unpack your bags, throw some things out, maybe even declutter a bit. Okay, Jenny, you made it to the top. So here's your first card. Jenny, kindness sideways. Okay, so says acting with love. And so this is very much an action of kindness. This is using kind words, being kind as often as possible, being aware when you're not being kind. One of the things that I really like as far as a flower essence for like snappy feelings is the Snapdragon, which you should be able to get at a natural grocer or just, online. But the flower essence of Snapdragon can help you have kind words. So actively be kind. I mean, I would say that anyways, but it's going to be more important than ever. Okay, Barbara. Ooh, you get to work on your vision this week. Okay. So this week, good week to do journaling or, do a vision board or just sit and think and as if what's coming next for me. So that's a nice message, isn't it? Given everything we just heard so far. Cynthia, you've got acceptance work to do this week and loving what is. It's sideways. So it's being, not doing acceptance. It's being with what is. Accept what is. Notice when you get into resistance. Notice when you get into resistance. Remember that non-action card. Maybe instead of resisting and doing something actively in resistance, just don't do anything. Okay? All right. Nicole and Seth. Nicole, things are evolving for you, blossoming and getting you into a beautiful space of just kind of really unfolding, letting yourself know that there's something new coming. By the way, you still could sign up for EA3 because we postponed this week, so you'd only still be 1 week behind out of the 8 weeks. Seth, you've got some forgiveness work to do, okay? So this is sideways. It's actively letting go, forgiving intentionally. Now, when I get the forgiveness card, to me, it's like nothing's wrong. Nothing happened that was wrong. We were all fulfilling our soul contracts. We were teaching each other the lessons we came to teach. And now I surrender to the fact that you and I came into each other's lives to kind of stir things up. And I forgive us both for that. That's kind of what you're being called to do this week, okay? Kimberly. Okay, wisdom sideways. So this is, again, this being. So this is, I see a lot of meditative, still. They're giving me the images of sound healing too. So maybe I love Jonathan Goldman's stuff. You could Google him or YouTube him and listen to some of his stuff. This wisdom card is just saying it's going to have to integrate. You can't learn it in a book right now. It has to just be integrated from what's within. Okay. Sam, your focus this week is going to be paying attention. Be in awareness everywhere. Pay attention to all sides of all things. Notice that this has 5 sides. This is the stars. It's a 5-pointed star. It says pay attention, not just to black and white, but gray and beige and all the other things in between, right? So just give yourself a moment to recognize that there's a lot happening, and maybe just closing your mouth and opening your eyes this week, maybe even jotting down some observations, maybe patterns that you're seeing. Okay. Gina. Oh, you got kindness upside down. Okay. So this is very much, I'm hearing do not engage with people who are being unkind. Do not engage with being unkind to yourself. Be aware where those unkind words and invitations are coming from, because if they're inside, you can't get away from it. So it might be a week of kind of just acting out with love from within. But just don't put up with any of the unkindness. My lesson of it, don't be extra. The don't be extra is like, just, if somebody's can't understand your perspective, just don't even put wind into it, Miranda. Okay, support week for you, giving and receiving in balance. Now, I love the triangle message of the relationships. When you're in a healthy relationship, balanced, your needs are met, their needs are met, and together you're something you couldn't be apart. You're making something better because you're together. That's what this week is for you. Support yourself, support each other, support the causes that you want to continue to exist in the world, that kind of thing, okay? All right. And this is also something to kind of recognize as far as I'm using the names on the screen, but I'm only mentioning first names for the most part. So we've already had 2 Kimberlys. So now got to look up on the screen and see, or if it resonates, right? Financial worries, freedom sideways. That's always for me when these cards come up, is like material world concerns, but not always valid. Okay. Freedom being unlimited. Yours is sideways. So there might be some act that needs to be taken to make your brain and your heart sync up on your abundance. Okay. And that sometimes takes a little work. Just sometimes, what appears to be going on is more scary than our minds can handle. And it's good for us to kind of go back to our abundant heart. Okay, Robin and Jordan. Robin, you got attention sideways. Okay, what that is saying, again, the message this week for most of you is be, okay? Just be here and now. Pay attention by being present, noticing, okay? Like I'm in my kid's bedroom and I can kind of notice while I'm looking here, my present time self sees like little spots on the wall. And he left his CU banner, things like that I'm just kind of, I haven't come in this room very much and yet spruced up what, I want it to be, because he's not like gone, right? So I'm just going to be paying attention to now, which is he's not totally here, but there might be a few things I could do to tidy things up. That's kind of the same message you're getting, Robin, is just, you don't have to boil the ocean and know what this room is going to be used for in 10 years. You just this moment. What do you want? Okay. Jordan, you got to embrace and love unconditionally. So this card is very simple. It's just asking you to drop the judgments, to completely love everyone and everything this week. When you're in non-action, you don't have to take action. You don't have to be in judgment, and you're not being asked to do anything. Okay. Just love. Janice, I do need to work on cleaning this energy of this room, I can tell. Okay, power upside down. Being, conscious, being, the power card, when it's upside down, is something's leaking your power. Typically, it's something that's taking your power away, making you feel weak or used or exploited, and we are agreeing to that power leak, okay? So just pay attention to where you are letting power be leaked, and then try and bring yourself back to an awareness of like, yeah, I probably don't want to participate in that in my own head, right? Even if it's happening outside of me, I don't have to give myself away to it. All right, Diane. Oh, I shuffled. You guys power sideways. So similar message. So sometimes the guides will start stacking things, okay? So this is being conscious of where you are giving your mind away. What's consuming your thoughts? Did those people that are consuming your thoughts earn their right to consume that power of yours? No, probably not. So take your power back by taking your mind back. Put your mind towards the things you want to think about. Okay, so that's the focus this week for you too. All right, Janelle. Impeccability. Okay, so we had a sideways impeccability for most of us, but you are being told that you are on the right track. Okay, so on the right track, which also means that non-action might be okay, because if you take an action, it might take you off track. So just know you're on the right track. And I just threw that card on the floor. Boop. Okay. Donnie, let's see what your week wants to unfold into. Oh, you got wisdom right side up. So you're going to get to know some things. Some things are going to start to make sense. They're going to start to open. You're going to start to see things in a different light, which is actually going to be really nice and easy. It doesn't even have to be hard because it's just wisdom. Wisdom is not the same as knowledge. Wisdom is like you've learned it. It's integrated into who you are. Christy? Okay, returning to love. Okay, it's sideways. So this is saying be love, return to love as often as you can, even if it's just loving yourself. If there is an invitation to step out of love this week, try and do your best to go some other direction. Okay. No, thank you. I'm going to go over to love here. Thanks though. All right, Kira, you are, the choice has already been made. So follow through with the choices that you've already made. Okay. This week for you, it's not about choice because it's already been decided. So now that it's been decided, go ahead and go forward with it. Okay. You may not know what that means yet, but just pay attention to that message for the week. And Finn, truth cards right side up, sideways. This is, you will be freer if you tell the truth. Okay. So one of the things that I kind of have to get my children to understand is sometimes if there's something that you did, that you made a mistake or whatever, being truthful up front and being honest, you'll get way more compassion and sympathy for the people around you because we know nobody's perfect. So telling the truth right up front, what gets you in trouble is when you don't. So just be as truthful as you can about everything this week. Okay. All right. Terry and Micah. Terry, temple, be nice to your body. This week, your body is the primary thing to focus on. So whatever you can do to honor that temple. Micah, you got deliberation sideways. The liberation is, these two cards are always for me about financial concerns. And this card says be detached. Okay. So this week, material world can be very inviting, very real. And this week you're being asked to detach from that. Okay. All right. Courtney. Okay. So you got exhale sideways. This is the second time we've seen it in this position. So this is saying, and remember, if we get 3, it's for everybody. It's an act of surrender. So I'm even seeing like maybe write something down and then burn it, or, within safety reasons, right? Or freeze it in the freezer, or just do something to let something go. Okay. Pour it down the drain, whatever you got to do, just get it out of your space. Surrender to the fact that you can't control it all. Okay. Tanya, for you this week, you're not clear on your intentions. You don't really know what your intentions are, which also makes you skeptical of what other people's intentions are, all of it. So just know this week's going to be a little muddled for you. The best way to combat that is to be as clear as you can be with your own intentions. Okay. All right. Lauren, let's get you a card. Okay, so focus for you this week. You got enthusiasm sideways. Okay, and it says at the top, being inspired. So what this is about is recognizing where you're feeling a little burned out, where you're feeling a little run down. Give yourself things, acts of inspiration. Okay, be in inspiration. Be around the people that make you feel inspired. Watch things that make you feel inspired. Do whatever it takes to just get in that inspired space. Okay. All right, Heidi. Okay, so you're going to feel stuck for the week, it looks like. This is the end of the week for all of us. For you, you might just be starting out feeling that way the whole week. This transformation card being sideways, we can never not change. But sometimes it's hard for us to see because change is slow, or it takes a long time, or maybe you just aren't good at reflecting what changes have been made. So this week, just be aware that you're going to feel a little stuck. Just surrender to it. It's okay. Aaron, you're feeling like you can't listen or be present. So this card is very much calling into that you might be also being burned out and feeling like you've been listening for a long time. So just know where you're kind of like all over the place and having trouble listening, and where maybe then also people are going to have trouble listening to you as well. Okay. Carrie, gratitude week for you and the triangles. Okay. So seeing the gift in everything. Yes. Thank you, more please, especially when you won't like it there. If there's something you don't like there, see if you could just pivot just a little to what you can be grateful for, and notice all of the people who have come into your life, even if they're not there anymore, who helped you become who you are. This week would be a good week to kind of inventory all that. Okay. All right, eat 100 foods. And Bahar. Karen, be nice to yourself this week. The non-resistance card often comes when you're not being very nice to yourself or you're having low self-esteem. Accept yourself. You are lovely. And this card is saying, just be in that awareness that you are not accepting yourself. And that's, can't accept ourselves. How can we expect anybody else to? All right. Bahar, you're working on balance, okay, and being in harmony. So the card's sideways, so it's talking about doing something to take action to bring balance, okay? I'm actually seeing activity, some sort of movement or adding some new routine in your life that would help kind of balance things out. Maybe even like I'm getting kind of like the brain games cross crawl stuff to get that left and right brain a little more functioning. So check it out. I really like Donna Eden's like physical stuff for when you're running, kind of not well. You can go into YouTube, look up Donna Eden energy medicine, and see what you find. See if anything jumps out at you. Tiff, you're going to be inspired this week. You got enthusiasm right side up. So woohoo, that's great. Go be inspired. Have yourself a little bit of acknowledgement that that's happening. And okay, the cards, I was trying to shuffle past you and your guides just totally flipped out and threw cards everywhere. So hold on. All right, Tiff, I guess your guides are like, no, don't leave my person yet. Okay. Generosity, feeling a little blocked. You're going deeper into what that's about. And maybe you weren't supposed to give or be given to at this point. It's a good week for you to just be inspired in seeing more clearly and not just giving things away. Okay. Natalie, you got mirror. Okay, so being the reflection. So just notice all the things around you that are trying to mirror for you what's going on, and be grateful for those mirrors, good or bad. When you're struggling and something's at you, it might be helping you with some shadow work. Okay, when you're doing well and somebody else is reflecting that, just say thanks and say okay. Rob, recognize the illusions of greener pastures. Not feeling very content this week, Rob. This is a week for you to understand that, we can look over the fence and think somebody's got a better life than us, but it's not true. So just be careful on comparisons. Okay. Patty, you're going to feel stuck. This is a theme that's kind of coming up. It sounds like some of us are going to be stuck. The evolution card, for those of you who got it right side up, good for you. But the rest of us might be just waiting a little bit for things to blossom. It's okay. I noticed you got a little wildlife visiting you to give you a little keep going. So keep that fun stuff coming, and just don't worry. You're not as stuck as you feel. Maria, truth card sideways. So same thing as what Finn got, except for yours is the sideways, the other way, which is be truthful, not do truth, but be truth. So that just means act with authenticity and don't care what other people think. Don't worry about that. Just be truthful, especially to yourself. All right, Meredith. See, I got you, and Astrid, and Safari Spirit, and Blossoming Lotus. I got you all. I see you. Okay. Liberation sideways. Again, this message is about material concerns. Never really a true thing, because we are infinite beings, and yes, we have to live in this material world. But when we use our self-directed consciousness, we are way better at letting this go. So this is an act of liberation, an act of detachment regarding finances. Maybe go, pay something off that you were waiting to pay off, or, just surrender the fact that you can't pay that off yet and just do something to get it off your mind. This week, you're being asked to detach from material stress. Astrid, so you're exhaling and surrendering right side up. So this, we got that a couple times sideways. For you, it's already happening. It's already going. It's already doing what it's doing. So just let yourself have, that synchronization with spirit. Okay. Your spirit's like, keep synchronizing. We've got your back. Deanna, you got happiness sideways. So this card says, whoops, be the source. Okay, so when it's sideways, it's saying, be the source of your own happiness. Take all of those other people that have all this negative influence over your happiness out of the equation for a minute and come back. And how can you make yourself happy this week? How can you make that a thing to focus on? Okay. All right. Safari, and I got Lisa and Gina and Patty. Payu, you just need to type me please in the comments and I will give you a card for the week. Okay, that might or might not answer your Tony question, but just give me a me please if you're still hanging out. Okay, Safari, you got to return to love this week. This is mind love. This card is about coming to all the things that you love that you can have reverence for. Heart chakra open. That's maybe good use for the heart chakra spray for you. Give yourself some just heart chakra opening. Put your hand on your heart a lot this week. Give yourself all the love that you can and then see what shows up. Okay. Andrea, things are not complete yet. Okay. So it's sideways completion. It's trying to come to fruition, but it hasn't quite made it. They're showing me like a plant that's got fruit on it that's not yet ripe. And if you pick it too soon, it's gonna never really come to the potential that it has. Okay, so leave it. Know that this is a week where that non-action is being required in some instances. Don't pick the fruit too fast. Okay, Lisa. Upside down embrace, loving unconditionally. Okay, so this card is saying, notice where you're being judgmental. Check the judgment. Be careful because, the whole idea that you can, that not be judged because, you judge and then you'll be judged and it'll be a whole circle. This is a warning of judgment this week. And if it gets somewhere tempted, people are tempting you in some way, just go, actually, I'm not going to play. Thank you for inviting me, but no. Okay. Gina. Gratitude sideways and being the gift. Okay. So we've been hearing this, but it's your sideways is a being action, doing. Okay. More feminine. Feminine is the being. Okay. More of the left side of the body. Be in gratitude. That's like feel gratitude. Doing gratitude would be saying thank you or writing it down in a gratitude journal. The being grateful is like literally just feeling it. Okay. So notice where you can feel it. Notice where you can't. That's another little message. Okay. All right. Okay. You're welcome, Clara. Patty. Ooh, trust upside down, feeling a little lack of confidence. And your guides just said it's okay to need help. It's okay to trust people. They may not do it the way you want them to do it. And that's maybe true, but sometimes you just have to trust that whatever's happening is going to get it done the way it's going to get done. Okay. So I know that can be really hard. They're showing me like when I was super sick and my house was messy and it was as clean as my boys could keep it themselves, had to surrender. I couldn't do it myself. I had to let it just be the way it was until I could get better. And if I never got better, I just had to accept that that's the house that they wanted to live in. I got better. I cleaned. Okay. Blossoming Lotus. And Payu, if you're still out there and you want to know about Tony, I know, but just type me please for a week card. Okay. All right. So Blossoming Lotus. Support, sideways, giving and receiving. Okay, but then it's going to the feminine being side. So being in support, sometimes it just means sitting and holding space, not letting yourself, put yourself in a place where you are having to do anything. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just have to be with somebody. That's what you're doing this week. You're just going to be support. Okay, Payu, thank you for giving me the card, please. All right, here you go. All right, now, so this week, this is kind of a warning that you're anchored in the wrong time and space. This week, really focus on being as in the now as possible. You're too far ahead. There's stuff to still be known and unpacking. If you go too far ahead too fast, you don't anchor into present time and you're always chasing your tail. You're always trying to get, more and more and more information, and it doesn't always work. Okay. So give yourself a chance to kind of, pause and get back into the present time. Okay. I am going to do a September spread for us. Okay. Since it's September, I don't know where that piece of fuzz is headed, but okay, here we go. So let's do 3 cards for September now. Okay. So if you're still with me, thank you for hanging. I will be back on Sunday next week, same time, same place. You can always subscribe to my stuff to get notifications when I'm coming on. Okay, here we go. September's going to start off with it really being important to be kind and acting with love. I think it's always a good thing, right? Okay, have the focus for the month. Where does your mind go? Where are you getting out of synchronization? Being in meditation as much as possible, doing mindful acts. That's what's going to be for September. Into the month, we're going to be focusing on some judgments. The embrace sideways is when we're not loving things unconditionally, we're not accepting things the way they are. And this card is basically warning us that as at the end of the month, we might be in heavy judgment of other people or ourselves or both. And this is when we get in resistance to the universe co-creating with us. So be careful. Don't judge. Be kind. Focus on mindfulness. And know that judgment's going to be flying around and you don't have to play. Okay? You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you. I feel like, I know every single one of you out there, and that's so fun. So I love it. I hope that you guys have a great rest of the week. I will see you next week. Bye.